People often ask, what are some of the best and easiest countries for single guys? They want to date open-minded women overseas. The good news is that such countries do exist and you can visit or live in these countries. And it will not cost you an arm and a leg to go there to see if these women are for you. Being a foreigner, it's going to be really easy to date in any of the countries we're going to discuss in this video. I really want you to get maximum value from this video, so I have decided to give you a bonus country. In fact, it's the easiest out of all the countries we're going to discuss in this video. So make sure to stay until the end so you don't miss out on the easiest country for single guys. Now, when it comes to dating women overseas, it's really important that you consider the whole equation. Because if you want to date someone overseas, there is a chance you will end up moving there. So really take a look at what parts of the world are interesting to me. What weather, food, culture do I want? Do I need an expat scene or not? There's really a lot to consider, like visa options. How easy is it to get residency in the country? Can you even get residency? And then another really important thing is, can you own property? And what are your rights as a foreigner living in these countries? I mean, these questions are important questions because if you're moving to a country, you're moving to your new environment and you need to adapt to the new environment, and chances are your lady is not gonna move with you to your country because maybe they're very close to their family and they don't want to leave. I mean, there's so many components. Not all women are willing to relocate to another country. First up, we have Colombia, okay? A country located in the northern part of South America, has long been known for a great spot for single guys. Some people even say that Colombian women are some of the most beautiful women in the world. Generally speaking, Colombian women are very outspoken, they're very affectionate, and they're also very family oriented. So if you want to date a Colombian woman, and if you want to marry a Colombian woman, or when you marry a Colombian woman, you marry her family at the same time. Colombian girls also are jealous more often than not. Many Colombian women are totally willing to date a foreigner, but they're very communal people. And what do I mean by communal is that they're looking to stay within their community. They want to stay in their city, in their country. They're not as willing to move to another country as other women are. So I think that's something really important for you to consider if you're looking for a long-term relationship. If you're looking to get married to a Colombian, then this is something that you're going to have to accept. Many of them are extremely open, and it shouldn't come as a surprise if she wants to introduce you to her family shortly after you met, and you'll probably end up meeting her friends very soon. Now, one of the good things about living in Colombia is that you can have a first world life, a first world lifestyle at a fraction of the cost. Definitely the most popular city is Medellin, and it's kind of good in terms of climate. You know, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and there's a really large expat and digital nomad community in Medellin, Colombia. Then there's also Bogota, the capital, much larger city, got a lot going on there. If you need to fly out of the country a lot, then Bogota is probably a better option. But one of the downsides of living in Bogota is that the weather is not as good, not as stable as it is in Medellin. So it's gonna be colder in Bogota than it is in Medellin. But both places offer pretty decent sized digital nomad and expat community. Now, if you want hot, humid weather, then Cartagena is probably where you want to be. It is located in the northern part of Colombia. It is in the Caribbean. And if you want to have, like I said, more of a beach lifestyle, if you want hot, humid weather, if you really appreciate outdoor activities, then Cartagena is your choice. San Andres and Providencia are two islands that also belong to Colombia. And again, this is something for a person that really appreciates hot, humid weather. And if you don't mind living a little bit more remotely, because those are really tiny islands, so it's not going to be a good place if you need to fly a lot, if you want to travel a lot. But if you like a more relaxed, want to be very remote, then I think these islands are probably some places you want to look into. You can travel to Colombia on a tourist visa. Most Western countries are eligible for a 90-day tourist visa. And you can then extend the 90-day tourist visa online, so we get a total of 180 days, which should give you enough time, to go there, check out the country, date some women, learn more about the culture, kind of integrate yourself to see if living in Colombia, whether that's going to be part-time, full-time, and for you to really see whether dating a Colombian woman is really for you. Residence and citizenship through investment is possible. You can get residence and citizenship through marriage. There's also the Colombian civil union. So your first step would be to get permanent residency for marriage, and then after 3 years you can apply for citizenship. You can also obtain residency through investing in real estate or starting a Colombian company. All right, let's move to the opposite side of the world. Next up we have Vietnam, the country located in Southeast Asia, and many people say that Vietnamese women are the most beautiful women you will find in Southeast Asia. Generally speaking, Vietnamese women are very open to date foreigners. American influence in the country definitely had a lot to do with it. It's going to be very easy for you to date Vietnamese women regardless of your age. And if you want to do this through Tinder, you're going to love it because your Tinder is going to explode. One of the things about dating in Vietnam is that marriage is expected. Unlike a country like Colombia, where women are probably more likely to understand English because they speak Spanish, it's very similar. Vietnamese women, a lot of them don't speak a whole lot of English. There are some with pretty decent English skills, but a lot of them won't speak much English at all. Well, the good thing about marrying a Vietnamese woman is that the average Vietnamese woman is not going to have a problem moving out of Vietnam. So they have no problem, moving to Europe, moving to North America, Australia. Oftentimes they're actually looking for that. One of the things that you have to know and understand when it comes to dating a Vietnamese is that they are usually more conservative when it comes to introducing you to her family. So while this happens very quickly in Latin culture, it does not happen very quickly in Asian culture. But that doesn't mean after you guys have been together for a couple months or even a year that she won't introduce you to her family. In fact, she will, but what she wants to achieve first is to be certain that you are the right guy for her. And once she has that feeling, then she will introduce you to her family and friends. Now, some of the better places to live in Vietnam are Da Nang and Nha Trang. Obviously, I'm not recommending Saigon, even though Saigon definitely offers the best dating options, but I think the quality of life in a place like Da Nang or Nha Trang is just unmatchable. If you want to visit Vietnam, under normal circumstances, you can do so. You can get a 1, 3, 6, 12-month visa. It could be a single entry, multi-entry visa. You can go there. It's going to be very easy for you to extend the visa. So let's say you go to Vietnam on a 3-month multi-entry visa. You can extend the visa while you're in Vietnam, so you don't need to leave the country in order to extend the visa. And a lot of people lived in Vietnam with just a tourist visa for a long time. But you can also get a long-term visa through marriage. Serbia has some of the most beautiful women in Eastern Europe and also in the entire world. Generally speaking, Serbians are very open to date foreigners. The online game definitely works in Serbia, so if you want to keep it simple, then Tinder is the app that you want to use. Eastern European women, they're very straight up, A lot of them speak English, and Serbian women are no exception. One of the more interesting points when it comes to dating a Serbian woman is that a lot of them are not going to have a problem relocating to another country. In recent years, many Americans and Canadians have dated and successfully married Serbian women and also brought them overseas. I really think that Eastern Europe as a whole is a great place to date. The women there are really beautiful, they're very open, they speak good English. And another country in that region that I really wanted to point out is Bulgaria. So yeah, I did want to point out Bulgaria because it's probably more diverse than Serbia. You have Varna, which is a coastal city on the Black Sea, would be ideal in case you want to go swimming, if you're more of the outdoor person that appreciates the beach life. But there's also Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, very vibrant, metropolitan. There's a lot going on. In fact, it's the place where most expats, most digital nomads, and also retirees live. For the most part, Eastern Europe has a continental climate. So you're gonna have cold winters and hot summers. So you have 4 seasons in Eastern Europe, right? Something that you're not gonna have if you live in Cartagena, Colombia. You're not gonna have that if you live in Da Nang, Vietnam. If you come from North America, if you come from Australia, it's probably gonna be more like home weather-wise. Also great food, great culture. And one of the good things, if you happen to marry a Bulgarian, it's gonna be pretty easy for you to gain citizenship through marriage. So you would technically become an EU citizen, which would give you freedom of movement. So with a Bulgarian passport, you can live anywhere inside the European Union. Serbia, on the other hand, is not part of the European Union yet. But it doesn't mean it's not gonna join the European Union in the future. In case you don't want to get married to a Bulgarian and just want to live in Bulgaria and date Bulgarian women, you can also obtain residence through investment. Likewise, Serbia has a citizenship through business establishment program. So you need to invest in a business, hire local employees for at least 5 years to reach neutralization. Bulgaria offers great tax incentives. Income is taxed at a flat 10%. So I think also tax-wise, it really appeals. All right, so you have made it to the bonus country. Okay, now we're talking the best of the best. Now I'm gonna give you the easiest country to date for single guys. By far the easiest country. The country is the Philippines. Filipino women are very open to date foreigners. Since the Philippines was a former US colony, it's going to be easier for you to find English-speaking Filipinas. Many say it's also one of the easiest countries to get laid. Like I said, many Filipinas speak English fluently. Christianity is the dominating religion, and regardless of your age, really, it's going to be relatively easy for you to date in the Philippines. And how a lot of people do it is they go on Tinder, and very often, in most cases, they're gonna have dozens of matches within the first few hours of just swiping right. Now, you can definitely play the online game in the Philippines, and it's gonna be the path of least resistance, but that does not exclude offline action because it's pretty easy to date women outside. Here are some facts about the Philippines. Manila, Cebu, Palawan, and Bohol are the main tourist destinations in the Philippines. It's also where most retirees and remote workers spend their time when they visit or live in the Philippines. One of the things I have to mention is that if you want to live in the Philippines, I'm not saying it is a requirement, but if you want to live in the Philippines, you definitely need to like a tropical climate because it's gonna be hot and sticky. It is the perfect destination for the tropical beach lover. In normal times, it's relatively easy to go to the Philippines and stay there for 24 to 36 months. So how a lot of foreigners live in the Philippines is by going there on a 30-day tourist visa, and what they will do is they're going to extend this visa every 2 to 3 months at the local immigration office for a small fee. There are several residence programs available. If you are 35 or older, you can get the early retirement residence visa, but you need to deposit $50,000 into a Filipino bank account. If you're 50 years plus, then you can get also the retirement visa, but you only need to deposit $20,000 into a Filipino bank account, assuming you don't have any income. If you're 50 plus and you have income, then a deposit of $10,000 is going to be enough. As you can see, it's a very liberal visa system. It's very easy to get residency, and you can also get residency through marriage. But if you don't want to get married, if you just want to live in the Philippines and date women without the serious commitment, then you can do that by either obtaining residency for one of the retirement programs or by simply living in the Philippines on a tourist visa. Which of the discussed countries is your favorite? Have you dated in any of these countries? If so, what was your experience? Leave a comment below and let us know. I got 2 recommendations for you. 1, I shot a video on the safest and cheapest countries to live in the world. If you want to watch this video, then click on the link that appears right here. 2, I shot a video on countries without entry restrictions. This is great if you want to go to places just as if the current situation never happened. If you want to watch this video, then click on the link that appears right here. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on alerts to receive a notification when I upload the next video on digital nomad locations, travel updates, and visas. Thank you for watching.